everyone, this is my first ever tutorial slash voiceover. Let's jump right into this look. Okay, to start off, I'm cleansing with my Oxy Deep Pore Cleansing Pad. This just helps, even though her face is clean, it helps just add that extra layer of cleanliness. And the big bonus for me is it adds protection against acne, which I really love because I personally have acne prone skin. So now I'm going in with my Morphe Micro Brow Pencil. I love this pencil. I use it on every single client, and the color is Java. It's very versatile in my opinion. I use it on a lot of people, even my lighter skin clients. Typically when I start to draw the brows, I usually start from the back and work my way up to the front. Now I'm going to conceal with my Revolution concealer in the shade F11. I love this concealer, but it does tend to get really dry very quickly, so I tend to blend it out. I don't just let it sit there. I conceal the top of her brows with the foundation color 360 Matcha in Maybelline Super Stay. Now I'm moving on to the other eyebrow, and she did get a little cold, so I just gave her a blanket to throw over herself. So guys, please don't mind that blanket. Also, when concealing my brows, I tend to pull the brow up just to get that really clean, sharp line. Now, when my clients typically come to me and they have like a lace or like really big baby hairs, I tend to just lift the baby hairs up because I don't want to mess up their baby hairs. Now that the brows are defined, I go in with my e.l.f. Pro Grip Primer. I love this primer. It's one of the best primers out there for drugstore makeup, and I love it so much. It's a dupe for Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I forgot to record me moisturizing her skin, but this works as a primer. I usually go in with another moisturizer. I have a lot of moisturizers, so I don't really remember which one I used that day. So now I'm going in with my P. Louise eyelid primer in the shade, I think it was 2, and I'm just going to pat all of that into her eyelids. And I want to make sure I pat it in really good, that it blends in with her concealer. And now this is just me showing you the palettes I use. It was by Juvia's Place and Morphe. So I started blending with a semi-dark purple for the first shadow that I wanted to use. I wanted to go like light into the dark. So I blended with a semi-light purple, and then I'm going to go into a dark purple. And then I'm also going to use one of the pink shades from that Morphe palette. And I also wanted to use a little bit of yellow, just to add a little bit of depth. To let you guys know, we were watching that new Jeffrey Dahmer series on Netflix, so if you see her keep opening her eyes, that's why, because we're both watching it, and I'm watching it as I'm blending in the shadow, which is not a good idea, by the way. So now I started to blend in more of a darker violet color for her darker shade that I'm going to use. I tried to focus it more being on the bottom part of where I blended that lighter shadow because I wanted to give that very ombre-ish gradient look. I'm just making sure I play around with the blending of the pink, yellow, purple, and violet because I want to make sure that look is very ombre. So So now I'm just making sure I move her lashes out the way because I don't want her to get them messed up. And I'm making her look up as I am putting on her P. Louise base to cut the crease. Now that I'm done cutting the first crease, I just make sure I blend out that eyeshadow primer because I don't want it to sit and dry down, because once it dries down, it gets very cracky and it's not good when I want to apply the other shades that I want to apply on top of that primer. Now I'm mixing two colors. I mixed a very light purple and a very light pink as well to make that little ombre-ish look. I'm using a light purple now, as you can see, and I want to make sure that I am blending those in really good because I want it to be ombre-ish. I don't want it to look harsh. So now I'm going in with a peach-ish baby pink color, and I'm going to blend that into the front of her crease because I wanted to give a more like color to the look. I wanted to give this look the extra oomph, so I added a pink liner. I got this liner off of Amazon. I can't remember the link exactly, but I just typed in pink liner or colorful liner on Amazon and I found those, and they're actually really good. Now I'm going in there with the same shade that I used on the top of her brows, and I'm just making sure I swatch it in, and I'm going to blend it out. Now I've highlighted her face. I'm going to blend out that concealer with her foundation brush, and I'm going to make sure I pat all of that in. Now I'm going to take my lighter shade of concealer and I'm going to blend it out with the wet beauty blender. Make sure your beauty blender is not too wet. Make sure it's damp. Now I'm contouring with the Juvia's Place foundation stick, and I'm using my same foundation brush just to blend out that contour to give it that very seamless look. And I will go back in with my beauty blender as well, just to make sure that the contour doesn't overpower the highlight. Now I'm going to set her face using the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I'm also going to use Black Radiance pressed powder to set her makeup. Making sure to stay in the places where I highlighted, and you can see that she's starting to feel herself already. Now I'm going to take my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and just start to set the sides of her nose where the contour and the concealer meet. I let it sit for a little bit, and as I'm letting that sit, I just start to set underneath her contour and her chin with the Laura Mercier translucent powder in the shade Deep. I wanted to add a little bit of highlight, so I used a little bit more of that translucent powder. Now I'm going in and I'm starting to bronze her face. I bronze her cheeks, her forehead, and sometimes I'll bronze underneath their chin or their jawline to make it more defined, but she didn't need that. Now I'm going to get ready to snatch the nose, so I'll just take some bronzer on a very angled brush, and I'll just start to brush that all the way up to her eyebrow. It's important that you brush it all the way to the eyebrow because it gives it more of a natural look, in my opinion. So I'm a blush girl, so I like to use blush, and I just use the Juvia's Place Volume Number 2 blush palette. Now, we all know this is a carnival look, if you couldn't tell by the title, and I wanted to add rhinestones, so I started adding some pink rhinestones. You can't really see it right now, but I'm just adding it right above that cut crease. Once I'm done doing the rhinestones, I'm gonna just clean off her lip and I'm gonna highlight using one of my Shein eyeshadow palettes that I got from a long time ago. But the highlight, I love it. Now I'm gonna use a little bit of mascara underneath her eyes. So my biggest tip for bringing out my nose contour is I like to really highlight the tip of the nose where the nose contour is and the bridge of the nose where the nose contour is as well. Now I'm going to use my favorite lip combo. This is the LA Girl lip liner in the shade brown, and I'm just going to outline the top and bottom of her lips. With my lip combo, I like to use my NYX lip butter gloss in the shade Butterscotch. So now I'm going to set her spray using the Morphe Setting Spray Mist, and I'm going to pat that all in, and I'm going to make sure that I'm really pushing it into the skin. Also going to use my Black Radiance and just pat all of that into her skin as it's setting. I went ahead and added some face jewels that I got from Amazon, but guys, this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, this is my first ever YouTube video slash voiceover slash makeup tutorial on YouTube in full depth. If you guys want me to go in more depth on any looks like this, please let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Bye.